Hello everyone, welcome to this lesson on product design. Today we are going to be talking about product design and we'll break it down. We'll talk about why it is important and how it shapes user experience. What is product design? Product design is about solving real users' problem. And a product, like I mentioned earlier, it's what a company used to solve people's problem that generates revenue for them. Every product in the world needs a good design, ranging from a physical product to digital products. Products like Facebook, Instagram, Uber, Airbnb, etc. These products are companies' solution to a particular problem, and this product needs a good design. Without a good design, these products cannot thrive in the market. There are high rates of competition in the market currently. So if your design is a problem and not a solution, people will not use it. Now let's talk about design thinking in UX. Remember I said UX is user experience. Design thinking is very key in UX because without design thinking, you will not learn how to think like a designer. A designer is a problem solver and a creative personnel. So there are ways you think as a human being that is slightly different from the way you think like a designer. So if you must think like a designer, you must think like a problem solver, you must think like a solution, you must think like someone that has a lot to offer in the market. Now there are 5 steps to follow in design thinking. The first is empathize. Empathizing has to do with understanding users' pain points and challenges. That's, you know, the problem that they have. Not just knowing the problem, you have to understand the problem that the users have. That is what the first stage is talking about. The next stage is define. After you've known the problem, let's say people in your area are finding it difficult to get groceries because the grocery store is very, very far. So that is a problem that you can notice from the empathizing stage. Now the next stage is define. Define is clearly identify the problem that needs to be solved. After noticing the problem, you now clearly define the problem, that this is the problem. The problem is people are finding it difficult to get groceries because the grocery store is far. Now ideation is number 3. Ideation is the process of brainstorming multiple solutions. So in ideation stage is where you now start thinking of how you can bring solution to those problems. An example of solution is like designing an app where people can easily order groceries from in few clicks. If they're able to do that in few clicks, also the services should also be top notch, so they will be able to get what they order in few minutes. Step 4, prototype. Prototype is creating rough version of the solution. Okay, like we said, there is a problem, which is people can't get grocery because the grocery store is too far from their house. Now, we've defined the problem clearly, we've ideated and we've thought about a solution, which is creating an app where people can order groceries in few clicks and also get what they order in few minutes. The prototype is creating that rough version. Like let's say you just pick up a paper and pen and you draw a rough version. You say this is the home screen. Here people should be able to see list of products. Here people should be able to navigate to other pages. Then you create a profile for them, just a rough sketch on how it should look like on a mobile phone. This is what prototype is. So in prototype you can decide to create from the very first screen that they will see when they come in to the last screen. So you just create the flow in form of a sketch. Now there are different ways you can create a prototype. You can do it using freehand sketch, you can do it using your laptop, you can do it using low fidelity. So there are different types of prototype, and we're going to talk about this. Then lastly, we have testing or test. Here is where we validate design through users' feedback. So after we've created a prototype, what we'll do is we'll now give it to our potential users and say, you guys should use it and let's know how it works for you. And then when they use it, they'll be like, you can do better in this part, you can do better in this part. Or let's say the visuals are too tiny, they'll be like, you can improve the visuals by increasing the size of your text and etc. So these are the UX design thinking process. Now let's talk about usability in user experience. So usability is making products functional and accessible. A product can be beautiful, it can look very nice, it can have a lot of captivating illustrations and icons, it can look like a futuristic design, but people may not be able to use it. Why? Because the UX design process is bad. So as in as much as you are a design freak or you are passionate about creativity, you also need to consider the fact that people have to know how to use it and be able to use it to solve their problem in real time. Good product or usability means the product is easy to navigate. They can easily go anywhere they want to go to in your product. The users shouldn't get lost. They shouldn't get frustrated. They shouldn't feel some sort of discomfort when using your product. Actions are clear and intuitive. Users don't need manual. When your product needs too much manual to use, that product may not be an efficient solution, because people will find it difficult to navigate through without the manual, and even with the manual they may still find it difficult. So instead of creating a product and then giving out manuals, why not create the product in a way that it will be easy to use, and then you still give them manual, so in case they find it difficult they can easily get one or two things. It's not like you give them manual and if they don't follow the manual they won't get an idea of how to use it at all. Good usability means that a product is accessible to all users, including those with disabilities. We also mentioned that a product should be easy to navigate and it should also be clear and intuitive. Like our illustration, if I'm trying to get a grocery from the mobile app that is a solution to my problem, and then I want to get a particular grocery like chocolate, when I get on the app I can easily start scrolling, and what if I keep scrolling and before I get to where it is I'm already tired of scrolling? Why not just put a solution like a search bar where I can easily search for what I want and get what I want? So if the product have to stress me too long before I get what I want, that means that product is not clear and intuitive, and also that product may not be accessible to all users. So this is usability in UX. Very important. Let the users find it easy to navigate, let it be clear and intuitive, and let it be accessible to all users. In it being accessible to all users, like we mentioned previously, users with disabilities should be able to use it. That is what we call inclusion in design. There are users with disabilities like poor sightedness or color blindness. You have to include these users in your design by creating bold fonts and bigger fonts, using clear colors and contrast like white and other sharp colors. Remember, the colors shouldn't be too sharp so it won't affect them, and it shouldn't be too dull so they won't find it difficult to see. Now we'll be talking about HCD, which is human-centered design. Human-centered design is designing for people. At the core of product design is human-centered design. What do I mean by that? There are three processes to many things that we do, which is the beginner stage, the middle stage, and then the end stage. Now what human-centered design is saying is that humans should always be placed at the center of everything we do related to design, because we are designing for users or humans to solve their problem. Human-centered design involves creating user research to understand users' problem. Like we analyzed previously, when we use grocery store as a case study, you must understand the problem of the users as humans. Then the next is you must create intuitive interaction based on user behavior. Let users be able to communicate with the design. Let them be able to relate with it easily. Then we have continuous iteration and feedback. feedback is very, very important in design, because it's through feedback that you get the user's problem. There are some websites or mobile apps that have support center. So if you have an issue, you just go to support and lay your complaints, and under a few minutes you get a response and to solve that your problem. So this is an idea of human-centered design. It's considering humans in what you do and trying to create a better solution for them. Product design is all about creating meaningful and functional solution and experience for users. By combining design thinking, usability, human-centered design, we can produce products that people will love. Remember, at the core of product design are humans, and everything we do should evolve around them.